Republicans in the Senate narrowly passed President Donald Trump's domestic agenda bill. After a dramatic scramble to win over key holdouts, the vote was 50-50, with Vice President Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. The bill must now pass in the House before heading to the president's desk. GOP leaders are racing to try to get it to the White House by July 4th. The roughly multi-trillion-dollar bill would unlock tax cuts and funding boosts for national security, but it's partly paid for by cuts to some federal programs. No matter the fate of the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, its time in Congress is already historic. The Senate voted on 48 amendments, breaking the record for the most number of votes in a vote-a-rama history. The previous record was set in 2008, when lawmakers voted 44 times during a series of votes on a budget resolution. In other national headlines, let's send it to Alan Miller.
Monica, the DOJ is charging hundreds of people in what it's calling the largest health care fraud bust in department history. Operation Gold Rush uncovered nearly $15 billion in false claims and seized more than $245 million in cash, luxury vehicles, cryptocurrency, and other assets. State and federal prosecutors have charged more than 320 people, including suspects in Russia, Eastern Europe, Pakistan, and other countries. Nearly 100 licensed medical professionals were also charged, including 25 doctors. President Trump toured a new immigration detention facility outside of Miami this morning. He met with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to walk through Alligator Alcatraz. DeSantis said the facility, which is deep in the Everglades, was set up in just 8 days and will begin to take in migrants as soon as tonight. Warren Buffett has given away more of his wealth. He donated $6 billion worth of Berkshire Hathaway shares to 5 charities. It marks Buffett's biggest annual donation since 2006. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation received the vast majority of the shares. The 94-year-old's estimated net worth is $152 billion. The price of summer holiday gas hasn't been this cheap since 2021. Gas Buddy reports prices at the pump are expected to average between $3.10 and $3.15 per gallon nationally. That's down from $3.49 last year. AAA says a record-setting 61.6 million people are expected to travel by car this 4th of July weekend. The dollar is off to its worst start in a year in more than a half a century. U.S. currency has weakened by more than 10% over 6 months, dominated by political crises and the Trump administration's trade war. And one of the stories we're working on for First News at 6, is it dangerous to start a fire right now? We'll have the answer. Back to you, Monica.